here in Killarney today to launch Win a House. You can win a house through the Kerry GAA with a simple raffle. We want to sell tickets valued at €100, and I suppose the key thing here is we're all after going through a very, very long year, a tough year through COVID, and we need to fundraise, and teams and local clubs and counties are fundraising in their own general way. And here in Kerry, we are in beautiful Killarney looking out over the lakes, and we're raffling a house down in the middle of Killarney, one of the nicest areas in the whole country, not even in the whole country, but all of Europe. The great thing about Kerry is that not only have we beautiful scenery, we've had great footballers, and I've had great days in the Kerry jersey. And we're all here today to try to help and try to support our young fellas, not only the Kerry senior football teams, not only the inter-county teams, but the young lads that are coming up playing with their clubs at the moment. We want to put in proper facilities for them and ensure that their future is looked after. To do this, we have to become a little bit more imaginative, and we have a house for a draw. Kerry people are all over the world. We're in London, New York, all over Asia, Australia, everywhere. Anybody can take part, and we'll be looking for everybody to contribute in some small way. It's only €100. It's going to go a long way to helping Kerry to stay up with the pace of the modern GA world, and I hope you all do get involved.
Hard to believe that Lyndon B. Johnson was President of America when Cross O'Neill's last won the Senior Hurling County Championship. But a 25-point win over Dr. Croke's last Saturday evening announced their intentions to end that 53-year wait. Having lost by only a point in their opening game, Dr. Croke's were back in action just 5 days after their last outing, but were eager from day off and opened the scoring thanks to this Mark Heffernan free. Heffernan's point gave Croke's the lead for the first and only time in the encounter. In the very next play, Declan O'Donoghue grabbed the first of Cross's 3 first-half goals, and from then on, there was no way back for the Killarney side. When Crokes did carve out their chances, they found Sean Weir and county star Tomás O'Connor uncompromising in the defence. Another O'Donoghue goal saw Crotta lead 2-2 to 3 points at the Waterbreak before Donald Hunt found the net for Crotta's third goal. Despite the one-sided nature of the opening half, Dr. Cross continued to apply the pressure, with Cross running up a number of wides. Kilflin men were 3-5 to 4 points ahead at the break, with Shane Nolan getting the first of his 6 points in the game from this free. Kerry midfielder did leave the field due to injury midway through the second half, but is thought to be back again for their next game. Cross changed their strip at half-time and added 9 further points unanswered as the weather conditions worsened for both sides, with Conor Bohan and Dr. Cross keeper making a number of fine saves to keep his goal intact for the second half. But despite the weather, there was nothing wrong with the Crotta radar adding 9 points before the water break to surge 3-14 to 1-4 ahead, before Aaron Murphy found the net for Dr. Crokes. Another 9 points in the final quarter in worsening conditions saw Crotta ease out to a 25-point win. Crotta will now face Abbeydorney, while Dr. Croke's first season in the senior grade will leave some regrets for them, especially in their opening game when they were defeated by just a point. While for the Kilflin men, they will look ahead to bigger days, facing Abbeydorney next weekend. Causeway started brightly with Billy Lyons impressive from frees, as 4 points separated the sides after 6 minutes. Having suffered an 11-point loss at the hands of Causeway in last year's championship, it was important to stay in contact, and Ballyduff's Padraig Boyle was certainly not letting the Causeway men out of sight with this fine effort from midfield. Their last outing, Ballyduff were in no mood to give up a goal, and this Brian Murphy goal chance was snuffed out as Ballyduff tried to counter-attack down the field. Corner forward Gavin Dooley with this fine strike had the 2019 winners ahead 5-2 at the Waterbreak. Ballyduff never relented, with Padraig Boyle's dead ball accuracy keeping them in touch, hardly surprising considering he fired over that late point against Meath to get Kerry into a Joe McDonagh Cup final. Both sides would go on to find the net, with Brian Murphy and Aidan Boyle exchanging goals, but it was Causeway that led 112 to 1-6 at the break. Both sides continued to impress from frees after the restart, but there were some fine scores from play too, including this Dylan Moriarty effort, as Ballyduff cut the gap to 2 points. Boyle did have a sniff of a goal in the 55th minute, but his free was cleared up the line by Causeway. With that clearance, Causeway went to seal the win on top of the table, and Ballyduff and St Brendan's now meet each other for that last qualification spot next weekend.
Stephen, 2 wins from 2 in the group stage, but you were made work for today. It felt like a right championship game between the two of you. What are your thoughts after the game?
Yeah, it was a tough game, in fairness, but we didn't expect anything else. This thing about Ballyduff and that they're down players and all that. When Ballyduff come into championship, Ballyduff were a different opposition, and we knew that. And we knew we were going to have to work hard to get the result today. And look, we did, and we got over the line. But the Ballyduff team are going to be around. They're going to be tough. And we were just happy to get over the line and get 2 wins. Like it's great, we're into the next stage of the championship. That was our main aim, There's no championships won in August, do you know what I mean? So we have a lot of work to do. We know that as a group we have a lot of work, so we just have to knuckle down now and go at it.
Yeah, it was fairly heated between the two of you at times, that you could tell the rivalry was on the pitch, even for early stages of the championship. Obviously both sides finishing with 14 men. What were your thoughts on the 2 sending offs? Were they merited? I know there was an incident at the other end with Aidan Boyle as well.
Look, you'll get them things, and in cause of Ballyduff game, I got a small bit heated, but there was nothing over malice, in fairness, I think the 2 yellow cards or the 2 red cards or 2 yellow cards, so both players will be back and again, you were going to get that. It's championship hurling, you wouldn't expect anything else,
Now looking forward now to when you get the draw and seeing where you're going to be working ahead to the next round, will it just be going home from here and training just to make sure you're prepared?
Yeah, we prepare now again, right, and for every game, and we see how we go, like I say, we don't know if we're in the semi-final or the quarter-final yet, so it's going to we'll see what that brings, and look, that's the way it's kind of going,
Ballyhoig next night came face to face in the Keanes Supervalu County Hurling Championship Group 2 Round 2 clash on Friday evening, with Ballyhoig making much the better start, leading all through the opening half. Nathan Guerin continued his fine scoring form from dead balls, converting this long range effort to put his side 4 points to 1 ahead at the 11th minute. And he kept them ahead 5 points to 2 by the 15th minute with this effort. Licks now were finding it hard to carve out chances of their own, but when they did present themselves, and a rather off-colour Shane Conway was unable to convert them as Ballyhoig took a 7.3 lead ahead at the break. But the Lixnaff fight back did arrive, and it didn't take long for Conway to find his touch with this effort 2 minutes into the second half. They found the net 3 minutes later to tie up the match when Brendan Brosnan fed in a low pass to Aidan Shanahan, who passed to John Buckley, who done the rest. 10 minutes later, Buckley landed a long-range free to put him ahead for the first time in the game. Ballyheigue were unable to score until injury time and had a pile of missed chances, ones they would go on to regret. Lixnaff forged won 12 to 7 points ahead, with Shane Conway grabbing 6 of the next 7 scores, including this effort. Conway would end the game with 9 points. Nathan Guerin did find the net late for Ballyheigue as they came looking for another goal to snatch a win, but Martin Stackpool, returning, was alert with this effort as Lixnaff finally pulled through by 4 points. Lixnaff now face Kilmiley to see who tops the group and comes out with group winners. Hurling County Football League Division 1, 2 and 3 winners were crowned, with Dingle, St Mary's and Lone Rangers the big winners, as a number of other clubs gained the last remaining vital spots from promotion while others were confirmed for relegation. So we decided to wrap things up for you. Dingle are the Credit Union County League Division 1 winners for the first time in 44 years after they easily defeated Keanes in a surprisingly one-sided affair at Paddy Kennedy Park, Onscall, last Sunday. Dingle did all the damage in the opening half, leading 1-9 to 1 point at the break, with Dylan Gainey grabbing a 17-minute goal. There was no let up by Dingle in the second half either, and despite Keane Sayers getting a goal back for the Strand Road outfit, Dingle would have a second goal from George Durant in the 51st minute to put them 2-13 to 1-2 clear. Afterwards, man the match and team captain Mikey Gainey lifted quite possibly the biggest trophy in GA history, as they now look ahead to the Kerry Petroleum Senior Club Championship with a lot of good form behind them, where they will face Kearney once again along with Killarney Legion and Austin Stacks. Dingle were in an understandably jubilant mood afterwards. That of course was Dingle, winners of the Credit Union County Division 1 League, celebrating there. Now there was poignant scenes at the end of the Division 2 final, in which St Mary's proved far too strong for Ballymacalligat, winning out in a scoreline of 2-16 to 1-5 at JP O'Sullivan Park in Killorglin last Saturday evening. The South Kerry side, who opened after a round loss to Castle Island Desmonds, have won all their games since and were ahead 1-5 to 3 points at half time, thanks to a fine Aidan Walsh goal. In the second half, Ballymac cut an 8-point deficit down to just 3 with the help of an Adam Kelly goal, but there was to be no stopping St Mary's, with former Kerry star Brian Sheehan in their ranks, and helped with a late Anthony Cornan goal. They put the icing on the cake and a quick return to top flight form. After the game, St Mary's captain Conor O'Shea dedicated the win to the late Junior Murphy, who died after their opening round loss to Castle Island.
First of all, I'm the third choice captain this year. And I just like to this trophy. I just like to put up to Junior Murphy, who's he's definitely looking down on us today.
That of course was Conor O'Shea, captain of St Mary's, admitting that he was only the third choice captain for the afternoon. Now, despite the defeat, Ballymac will also ply their trade in Division 1 next season, and they will be joined there by East Kerry side Guineguilla, who secured the final promotion spot with a 19 points to 1-9 win over Castle Island Desmonds in a game played in Fitzgerald Stadium. It was the East Kerry men's third successive promotion, going from Division 4 back to Division 1, but they needed a big second half to ensure that happened for them. The sides were level at the break, and there was only one team in the second half, with Guineguilla outscoring Desmonds 10 points to 3. Meanwhile, Listry avoided the drop when they finished stronger against North Kerry outfit Ballydonoghue, defeating them 2-8 to 2-6 to stay in the Division 2. Ballydonoghue, who must play Guineguilla in the 2020 Junior Club Final yet are now relegated to Division 3, and they're joined there with Dr. Crokes B and Drummond Pearses. Now, two sides who won't be in Division 3 next year will be Lown Rangers and Listowel Emmets, who both faced off in the Division 3 final. Both sides had 100% records heading into the game, but 2-3 by Lown Rangers' Garrod Hassett and 1-5 by his teammate John Titer proved more than enough to ensure that Lown Rangers returned to Division 2 as champions following a comprehensive 3-14-1-8 win in the end. But they didn't have it all their own way. Now we can take a look at the match highlights with Aidan Clifford of Lown.
Following promotion last week, Lown Rangers closed out the County League campaign as Division 3 champions with victory over the Listowel Emmets on Sunday afternoon in Connolly Park. Emmets scored the first 2 points of the game, Sam Tarrant slotting this one from a tight angle. But Garrod Hassett got Rangers on the board with a well-taken effort. Although Rangers may have hit the net, but for a great double save by Conor Beasley, first from Dara Cleary after a great run, and then from the rebound by Matt Leslie. Rangers did lead at the Waterbreak though, as this Mark O'Connor point gave his side the lead by 4 points to 3. John Titer remained in good scoring form with this left-footed effort. And Emmets regained the lead in the second quarter, but it was Rangers who led by 2 at the break, as points from Dara Cleary and this one from Garrod Hassett after great passes from Jack O'Connor and Matt Leslie saw the score at half-time. Lown Rangers 8 points, Listowel Emmets 6 points. Lown Rangers flew out of the traps from the restart, and this Dara Cleary point was the first of 4 unanswered. Although Emmets got 2 points back before one of the game's main talking points, as Listowel were awarded a penalty for this incident. Sean Keane making no mistake with the penalty, although Jason Brown did get his fingertips to it, and there was just a point in it at the Waterbreak, 12 points to 1-8. Rangers were awarded a penalty of their own, and this one was much more clear-cut, Shane McSweeney being pulled down as he rounded Conor Beasley, and John Titer calmly slotting the penalty to restore the 4-point lead, giving impetus to Rangers. Shane Daly and Peter Crowley added points before 2 quick-fire goals put this game to bed, Garrod Hassett reacting quickly to punch the ball home after great work by Cleary and Leslie. And a Shane Mangan kick-out interception fed John Titer, who found Dara Cleary in the world of space, and he selflessly passed to Garrod Hassett, who buried the ball to the net. The full-time score from Connolly Park, Lown Rangers 3 goals and 14 points, Listowel Emmets 1 goal and 8 points.
Now, Lown Rangers B, they survived their relegation playoff in Division 5, defeating Kieran O'Reilly's 11 points to 4. And one of the more interested spectators on the day, and indeed he wasn't a spectator at all, was Mike Frank Russell, still scoring points for Lown Rangers as he helped them save their spot in Division 5. So Rahilly's B head into Division 6, where they will be replaced by Glenflesk B, who defeated Rathmore B 115 to 112 in the Division 6A final, with the winners securing a spot back into Division 5. In a hard-fought contest, Glenflesk burst into an early 5-point lead, a lead that they extended at the break to go 110 to 7 points clear. But at the end of it, the 4 points that Kevin Bowler and Danny Lucy both scored proved important as they held out for a 3-point win. Now, to assist, defeated their near neighbours Kinmare Shamrocks B in the 6B final, winning out in a 9-goal thriller, 5-13 to 4-14. The winners were 3-8 to 7 points ahead at half-time, but had to withstand a thrilling fight back by Kinmare. And finally, having watched their A-team capture the Division 1 title, Dingle B sealed the deal, capturing the Division 6C final when they dispatched Fossa 117 to 110. So there you go, a very, very busy roundup of Credit Union County League finals, promotions, playoff and relegation battles from last weekend. As we said, a number of other finals to come, and we'll keep you covered with all those in the next couple of weeks. footballers will have to beat Tipperary on Wednesday night next if they are to progress to the Munster Minor Football Final after they finished up 6 points short of Cork last night in Ossenstack Park. Having started in whirlwind fashion with Aberdeen's Melanie Higgins and Castleisland Desmond's Paris McCarthy both scoring early goals, Rory Kilgallen's side were 2-2 to no score up by the 8th minute. But 3 unanswered Cork points by Abigail Ring, Leah Halland and Laura Buttimer had the Rebels back in contention by the Waterbreak. And after the Waterbreak, it was all the Rebels who hit 3 goals to turn the tie in Cork's favour. First Ring netted in the 20th minute before they hit a run of 3 unanswered points to level matters up. A Rachel Dwyer free nudged Kerry back in front, with 2 goals in just 3 minutes by Ring and captain Orla Roach put Cork back in command at the break 3-6 to 2-5. The second half never lived up to the competitiveness of the first half, with both sides making 20 subs between them, with Kerry running 12 new players onto the field. Cork through Roach were off the mark early as she hit a brace, as Kerry were guilty of a number of missed chances as their wide count nudged towards double digits. Castle Gregory's Brenna O'Neill finally got the Kerry scoreboard ticking over as she got her side's first point of the second half a full 21 minutes into the contest. Still, they only trailed by 5. The final quarter was a little bit more competitive as Kerry began to find the scores once more, with Southern Gales' Rachel Dwyer hitting her 7th point of the evening before she departed on a yellow card. Cork substitute Emma Hurley made the most of her limited game time with 2 points from both her first touches of the ball, and another sub on the Kerry side, Amy O'Sullivan, did the same for Kerry. In the end, the Rebels got over the line with a degree of comfort, 3-12 to 2-9 ahead. Kerry will now face Tipperary next Wednesday, with a win needed for them to get back into the Munster final, where they will face Cork once more. After
commiserations on the result, but I suppose, look, how happy are you in one way that they got a game, and you know that obviously there was some uncertainty, would there be a minor championship earlier in the year? So how happy are you to be competing?
Correct. No, I was just reflecting back. It's 17 months since we actually played a minor championship game, which is a long time in fairness, and with the uncertainty the last few weeks, it's hard to tell. But look, we're very happy with tonight's performance. I think the girls put up a lot of debutants here tonight, never played for Kerry before, like Chloe Fitzinside in goals, did very well, under a lot of pressure. And I think overall we've a lot to learn. We learned a lot tonight, you know, when the heat of battle comes on.
Did you start maybe a bit too good in one way?
I know you have to start as fast as you can, really. Do you know what I mean? Because with the wind, you're just hoping that you'll get a couple of scores up. A little bit of tiredness, probably a little bit of anxiety. You know, you're playing in a big stadium for the first time for a lot of these players. So I think we got 27 players onto the pitch tonight, so that was excellent. And we still scored 2-9, which was very good.
And I suppose there was some great saves you mentioned there from Chloe. I suppose she kept you in it. I suppose maybe in another night she could have got a bit of momentum down to the other end.
Correct.
Could have changed on the scoreboard.
That's it. I think Cork had the advantage of last week's game, so they were a bit more gelled in the back line. So it was just more difficult to break down. But look, I think overall the girls can be very proud of themselves. So we've a very young team. I think we've 24 or under 17. So they're under again for next year. But look, our focus now is Tipperary next Wednesday night. Like whatever happened tonight, we have to beat Tipperary next Wednesday night.
And I suppose just morale-wise, because obviously there was a lot of uncertainty, as we said earlier in the year, I suppose just trying to keep the girls focused and encourage them that there would be a competition this year. I suppose how
correct.
Tough is that?
Yeah, but that was tough. Look, last year is still bitterly disappointing, but look, this year I think the Munster Council it was going to go ahead no matter what, and fair play, they've kept it on tracks, and the fixtures are working out fine. And look, there's been a pile of club games here, and players are playing 2 and 3 times in a week, so it's just keeping them fresh now until next Wednesday night against Tipperary.
Very good. Okay.
Thanks, Jason.
And looking ahead, of course, to that Tipperary game now, that's knockout from here.
That's knockout only, yeah.
And that's quite vital. Did you learn a lot about your team tonight?
We learned an awful lot about the team tonight, yeah. Look, we've had a couple of challenge games, but look, you know yourself, it's the heat of battle when you begin to find out, where things are happening and where things aren't happening. So, but I think overall, we'd have to be happy. I mean, if we won tonight, we still have to go and beat Tipperary next Wednesday night. So it is actually a championship.
And with a 17-month layoff, how difficult is it to get teams together and playing and talk to us about getting a side actually on the field tonight with all the work that goes in the background?
Oh yeah, we got back on the field on the 12th of May. Obviously we had to run trials for 3 or 4 weeks, then we moved into kind of a panel, then we had to leave insert in the middle of it. No, all the clubs, counties have had the same problem, but and like that we have 2 or 3 girls up with the senior panel, so they haven't been with us really until last weekend. And so look, I think the focus is Tipneck's Wednesday night, and that's the one we have to win.
And of course, finally, Rory, it's a big night for the girls. It's a huge night for their families as well, not for their parents inside here, and it's great to see them inside the stand supporting their kids.
Absolutely fantastic. I mean, the support from the family is second to none. I mean, as you know, they're bringing them to training, and you know, you have girls from Valencia and South Kerry up to Rathmore, over to Glenflesk and Beaufort. So it's unbelievable commitment. And look, you're putting on a Kerry jersey, and that's a great honour in itself. And I think the girls, you know, they did honour to it tonight anyhow.
Absolutely, Rory. Very best luck to you, and very best luck to you on Wednesday against Tipperary.
Thanks, Donald. Cheers. Thank you very much.
So there you have it. That was this evening's show. We hope you enjoyed it. Shorter than usual, but we're going to say goodbye to you now from the home of the Division 3 champions, Lone Rangers. But we're going to lead you out with the Division 1 champions, Dingle, celebrating their first victory in 44 years in the Credit Union County League. We will see you next week.